You're here already. I was getting ready for story time. And the story you're about to see is about the time when Winnie the Pooh celebrated Halloween, and he learned that Halloween sometimes can be very scary. So what do you think? Are you brave not to hear the story? Alright, let's do it. The story is entitled, Boo to You, Winnie the Pooh. Hope you enjoy it. If you're brave, let's go. One each year, there comes a most particular day. The dark grows darker. The leaves rattle on the trees, and everything is a tad spookier. On this particular day, Winnie the Pooh was dressed like a bee, starting on his last drop of honey. Oh, Halloween, he chuckled. Though I'm not fond of tricking, I do enjoy treating. I didn't know Winnie the Pooh is not a fond of tricking, but he loves treating, and I have no idea why. But he loves honey. Let's see what happens next. A few minutes later, a skeleton bounced in.
Not late, am I?
Asked Tater, for that who was a bouncer was. Behind him were two Eeyores. The real one, who was wrapped in the bandages like a mummy, and Gopher, who had dressed up like Eeyore. Hello, Eeyore and Gopher, said Pooh. Dagnabbit, said Gopher. You know it's me? He had to find a new costume.
Come on, Pooh,
cried Tigger.
we better get a move on.
But first, we need to get Piglet, Pooh replied. Piglet was putting the finishing touches on his costume when he heard a titter like
Boo-hoo-hoo
coming from his entryway. Why, Piglet, said Pooh as his friend hurried to greet them. Where's your costume?
We gotta get Halloween,
said Tigger. Oh, Piglet stammered. He didn't really want to go outside. Well, Piglet gets ready, said Pooh. I'll try out my costume on our friends at the honey tree. I think Piglet's feeling a little scared about going outside for Halloween for trick-or-treating. I guess that's perfectly normal. Shall we see what happens next? Okay. But Pooh, Piglet said following his friend. Perhaps it would be best, Pooh said it as he started out the door, if you didn't say my name. It might make the bees suspicious. But the bees knew exactly what Pooh was trying to do. They began to buzz angrily. Pooh and the others ran away from the honey tree as fast as they could. Uh-oh. The bees are getting suspicious, and they're chasing Pooh and Piglet and Tigger from the woods. They're getting suspicious. What do you think? Shall we see what happens next? Okay. Nearby, Rabbit inspected his pumpkin patch. Perfect, he proclaimed. Bzzz! Suddenly, Rabbit heard the bees. He looked up just in time to see Pooh, Piglet, and Tigger and Eeyore smash into his beautiful pumpkins. The bees flew away, disturbed by all the chaos. Of all my favorite holidays, Rabbit sighed, Halloween isn't one. Soon, it grew dark, and Piglet hurried home. As he got into his costume, he realized he was just too scared to go outside. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Who is there? He squeaked. It's me, them, us, said a Pooh-sounding voice. Pooh Bear? Asked Piglet. How can I be certain it's you? Perhaps if you say something only you would say, then I'd be certain. How about I am Pooh? You are? Said a confused Pooh. Then who am I? I am Pooh? And Pooh is confused? Then who's he in his costume? A bee? Oh well, let's see what happens next. Let's see what happens next to figure out what's going on. It is you! Squealed Piglet, jumping out of his costume and opening the door. Piglet, said Pooh, will you be joining us for Halloween? I'm afraid I'm just too afraid, Piglet replied. That's okay, said Pooh Bear. We won't have a Halloween. We'll have a Hallow-wasn't. Thank you, Pooh Bear, Piglet said, smiling. Piglet and Pooh explained their plan to Eeyore and Teeter, and with that, everyone went home. Alone once more, Piglet created lots of notes telling all the spookables and monstery beasts to stay away. They had to know that it was a Hallow-wasn't at his house somehow. Hallow-wasn't? What's Hallow-wasn't? Who's ever heard of Hallow-wasn't? I thought it was Halloween, not Hallow-wasn't. Let's see what happens next. Soon, a storm began to rage outside. Pooh looked out his window. I hope Piglet isn't too frightened, he said. I suspect that something should be done. But what? He tried to concentrate. Think, he muttered. And to no one's greater surprise than his own, he did just that. Just because Piglet can't have Halloween with us, said Pooh, there's no reason why we can't have Hallow-wasn't with him. A little while later, Teeter was bouncing around when two figures opened his door. Spookables! hollered Teeter, tripping over his tail. The spookables removed their sheets. It was Pooh and Eeyore. We're on our way to Piglet's to have a Hallow-wasn't, said Pooh. Would you care to come? We made new costumes since the other ones were torn in the pumpkin patch.
What are we standing around here for?
Teeter said, snatching the sheet. I'll be there intrigued to see how Winnie the Pooh and his friends celebrate Hallow-wasn't with Piglet, because I think Piglet is a little bit too afraid to celebrate Halloween with his friends. Let's see what happens next. They almost reached Piglet's house when a tree branch snagged Pooh's bedsheet. Pooh was certain he'd been clutched by the claw of a spookable. Help! shouted Pooh. Pooh Bear? Piglet said, hearing Pooh's cries coming from just outside his house. Teeter and Eeyore, still wrapped in their ghostly bedsheets, tried to free Pooh from the branch. Oh no! Piglet cried when he saw them. Spookables got Pooh! I must help him! Halloween or no Halloween! Suddenly, Piglet remembered the costume he made. I'll save you, Pooh! He cried, pulling it on. He stumbled outside and yelled, Boo! As loud as he could. Pooh, Eeyore, and Teeter looked up in horror and ran away, leaving Pooh's costume on the branch. They ran past a startled gopher, who was now wearing a rabbit costume. Look out! Spookables! They shouted. Spookables? Oh no! The spookables are coming to get Winnie the Pooh! What do you think? Will Winnie the Pooh scare the spookables away? Let's see. Gopher looked up just as Piglet ran into him. They both went rolling at the others. Rabbit, who had been trying to keep his remaining pumpkins dry with an umbrella, glanced up. Not again! He cried just before Pooh, Teeter, Eeyore, and Piglet and Gopher collided with him. Costumes and pumpkins pieces flew everywhere. Finally, the friends untangled themselves and discovered that there was not a single spookable around. You saved us! Pooh told Piglet. You're here and the spookables aren't. You must have chased them away.
Way to go, Piglet!
Exclaimed Teeter. Whew! I'm glad that the spookables are gone, and they're not going to bother Winnie the Pooh and his friends when they celebrate Halloween anymore. Now that will be very scary when the spookables come around. Shall we see what happens next? Okay. Piglet's friend shook his hand. Wait, have a second, Piglet!
Wait, have a second, Piglet!
Said Tigger.
You aren't dressed up as anything for Halloween!
Piglet realized he lost his costume in all the excitement. Then he smiled. Oh, but I am, he said. I decided to be Pooh's best and bravest friend. And that, said Pooh, smiling down at Piglet, is precisely who you are. And the moral of the story is, no matter how scared you are, it's great to have friends help you out if you're feeling scared, because being brave is about not being scared. It's about being scared by doing what you had to do anyway. Like Piglet did when he scared the spookables away. And that's the end of the story. Whew! I'm glad that the spookables are not here to scare Pooh and Piglet anymore. And I bet you're not as scared of the spookables too. Thank you so much for coming for story time today. And please make sure you subscribe to my channel for more story time. And come again next time when we do some more story time adventures with me, Uncle Jason. And I hope you're not feeling afraid about the spookables coming back again. Bye! See you next time for more story time. Bye!